Hey, how we doing? You okay? I always, when I'm doing these, don't know whether to look at the corner here where I can see myself, the camera, or the microphone. So bear with me. I don't do many of these. I usually just do lives. So thank you and welcome, and thanks for tuning in. So what I'm going to talk about today is obviously stopping smoking. I have created a couple of programs which are going to help you to stop smoking. I am doing this because I am a therapist, mindset therapist, specialist holistic therapist, and a CBT therapist. So, and also, more importantly, I'm an ex smoker. Now, people might say that ex smokers are the worst, but when it actually comes to helping you stop smoking, um, I'd pretty much say that we are the best. All right. And the reason why, because we've been there. I know the struggles. I know what it's like. So I'm fortunate enough to have my own therapy business in Melton Mowbray, and obviously I see lots of clients for lots of different things. One of them is that I help people with addictions. So drink, drugs, cigarettes, anything. I also help people with stress, anxieties, all kinds of stuff. If you need help, I'm pretty much able to sort that out. So, but I see a lot of people to help them stop smoking, and a lot of them have tried already and not managed it. They've tried lots of different ways, apps, books, hypnotherapy. A lot of people try hypnotherapy because they think it's the magic be all and end all of it, and it'll just cure you like that. And it's not quite how hypnotherapy works. Trust me. I've done training on hypnotherapy, but it's not something I've followed through as a therapist myself. But I do have a fantastic colleague here, Stella, and she is an amazing hypnotherapist. And again, it's not about spending an hour with a hypnotherapist and stopping smoking. That doesn't work. It's a lot to do with mindset um, and reprogramming the mind, but it's fundamentally down to you. And accountability, which is where I come into it. So a lot of people do try smoking. Well, they do. A lot of people try giving up smoking. As I say, with apps or programs, anything like that, or the free NHS website. The thing is with free products is that you don't really take them seriously. You get them, you try them, but it's not cost you anything. So yeah, okay. Apps, they're fine, but research shows that you start off with an app and what have you, and it's all woo. And then when the going gets tough, the app isn't there behind you, pushing you, encouraging you, willing you on to do what you need to do. Same as books. So that's what it's all about. It's about having this me there helping you, but also knowing what it's like, knowing the frustration, knowing the withdrawals, all that kind of thing. So understanding you, putting my arm around you and going, come on, we can do this with proven techniques. Okay, so let's move on. So what kind of smoker are you? Now, if you are a 10, 15, 20, 30 person a day, okay, I don't judge. I was a heavy smoker, along with a pint, along with the drinks. I drank far too much, and I smoked far too much. And thankfully, I've been free now of that for what, 11 years, 10 years, 11 years, something like that. Anyway, but a lot of people say to me, "Oh, yeah, I'd like to stop, but it's okay because I'm a social smoker." Social smoker, I do 4 or 5 ciggies a day, that kind of thing. If you tell me that you do 4 or 5 ciggies a day, that generally means that you do 8 or 9 ciggies a day. All right, we always lower the bar just a little bit to make it sound better. All right, so, but that's fine. People do what we do. But let me just tell you, smoking 1 cigarette a day or 2 cigarettes a day is still not good. I'll tell you why. Let's look at the immediate effects of smoking a cigarette. A cigarette. Okay, so straight away, drag it in, right? Within minutes of smoking a cigarette, the heart rate increases, leading to elevated blood pressure. Blood pressure is, first of all, it's a killer. Blood pressure is one of the biggest causes of illness. One of the biggest causes. So many things can lead to high blood pressure, and it causes so many issues there. And I talk about blood pressure all the time in my breathwork classes that I do. Blood pressure, oxygen, balancing out the gases, also important, lung capacity. That's something that you will be learning if you do one of my programs with me. But all these work together. So within minutes of smoking a cigarette, your heart rate increases, leading to elevated blood pressure. Carbon monoxide. The harmful gas enters the bloodstream, reducing the amount of oxygen that the blood can carry. And as a result, the heart has to work harder and harder and harder to supply that blood, to supply the body with the oxygen that it needs. Nicotine absorption. Nicotine is rapidly absorbed into the bloodstream, reaching the brain within seconds. So as soon as you try, it's there. Okay, it stimulates the release of dopamine, which is a neurotransmitter which is associated with pleasure and reward, which is why smokers often feel a temporary high and a false sense of relaxation. Okay, dopamine is the reward chemical, and it's one of the things that actually creates an addictive feeling in the body. So that, say, for example, with nicotine, or even with stress and all kinds of things, because we get this little natural rush and a little natural high, the body, the more dopamine we release and then let it go, the more the body wants it. So therefore, we go back to what created it in the first place. So it'll be a cigarette, a drug, or a beer, or whatever it is, to keep releasing this dopamine as a little hit, and it gets worse, more and more and more as we go along. Constriction of blood vessels. Nicotine causes blood vessels to constrict, reducing blood flow, and this can lead to cold fingers, toes, etc. And exacerbate. I always get with that word. Exacerbate conditions like Raynaud's disease. All right. So again, there's loads of things. Carrying on, decreased skin temperature makes you feel a bit colder. All right. And I know myself. It's have a cigarette and what have you. You'll recognise these. You'll recognise these feelings if you're a smoker. Stimulation of the brain. The brain becomes more alert due to the stimulant effect of nicotine. Now, you might think that's a good thing to have an alert brain, but it's not. When I teach all kinds of mindfulness-based stress reduction techniques, it's all about moving the brain from a beta brainwave into a lovely alpha brainwave through breathing, through meditation, through mindfulness, through just noticing, from being aware. It's all about being in the alpha brainwave. Staying in the beta brainwave, it's no good. It's good when we need it at that moment, but it's no good staying there. It causes damage. Suppression of appetite. Nicotine acts as an appetite suppressant, which is why a lot of people unwisely use it as a weight control strategy. I smoked a lot and I've got Crohn's colitis. And I used to, I didn't eat much because of the Crohn's colitis, because when I ate, it reacted with my bowels. So I used to smoke instead to stop myself from wanting to eat. Very unwise. Taste and smell. It dulls the senses of taste and smell. And since stopping smoking, I now love cooking. I love a curry. I can eat a curry now because I've had pretty much most of my bowels whipped out, and I've got a stoma bag, so it doesn't affect my bowels as much as it used to. So I love a curry, but I love a Jamaican Caribbean curry. Oof, makes me hungry already thinking about it. Yeah, so I love cooking. I love eating now. I used to eat literally to survive, but now I eat for pleasure, and I love it. Immune response. The body recognizes that when you inhale something, it's a harmful substance. So the immune response jumps in and to attack it. And that leads to inflammation of the airways. And obviously, as we know, respiratory changes. The smoke irritates the airways, leads us to coughing, the old smoker's cough. And over time, those tiny little hair-like structures in the lungs, they get damaged. So they can't clear out mucus, etc. And it increases infections. So all those things from having a ciggy. Okay, and these are the effects of having a cigarette. Now, obviously, they're compounded the more cigarettes you have. So that's what happens when you smoke. Now, let's look at what happens when you stop smoking. Okay, this is the important part, because if you smoke, that's already happening to your body. So what you want to know is, well, what's going to happen when I do stop, which you're going to. So after 20 minutes, just 20 minutes, your pulse rate goes back to normal. It starts returning to normal within 20 minutes. After 8 hours, improved oxygen levels. And again, the importance of oxygen in our bodies is unbelievable. Oxygen levels in your blood recover, and the harmful carbon monoxide levels reduce by half. All right? This is after 8 hours. So imagine after 20 minutes, then after 8 hours, this is where we get to. So if you're one of them people that says, oh, well, I only smoke a few a day, as soon as you start returning to these levels, you're on it again. So you're just in this cycle. So after 48 hours, elimination of carbon monoxide. All carbon monoxide is flushed out from your body, enhancing your senses, and your senses of taste and smell begin to improve after just 48 hours. You'd already start noticing that, that coffee in the morning, that cake, anything that you eat, you'll just notice that little improved taste of it. And you'll be like, oh, I like this. Imagine what it's going to be like when you are fully stopped. Food is going to be delicious. Right. After 72 hours, easier breathing. Breathing becomes easier as your bronchial tubes start to relax. You get increased energy. You'll actually experience a boost in your energy levels after 72 hours. 2 to 12 weeks. This is the hard part, the 2 to 12 weeks. But you get improved circulation. Blood circulation improves, which benefits your heart and your muscles. Now, I must say, 2 to 12 weeks, that's the killer frame, which is why the programs that I've done are up to at least 12 weeks, because they're the times when it's going to be make or break. Okay? They're the times when you need someone. So 3 to 9 months, better lung function already. Coughs, wheezing, breathing problems, all reduce as your lung function increases by up to 10%. Now, that's just by stopping. You're doing the program with me as a breathwork facilitator. I'm going to teach you breath techniques that are going to increase your lung capacity. So it's all going to work together, all right? And just increase the way you'll notice when you're going upstairs or walking down the streets, the way that you breathe will be significantly better. After 1 year, the reduced risk of heart attack. After 1 year, your risk of having a heart attack becomes half that of a smoker. Imagine that. Now, this is important to look at. After 10 years, lowered lung cancer risk. The risk of death from lung cancer becomes half that of a smoker. Now, you might think, bloody hell, I've got to wait 10 years. But imagine the damage that it's doing to your lungs if that is what takes so long to start recovering from, which is why the key is to stop as soon as possible. Okay? So, now obviously we've got to do this. The timeline applies to general smokers, regardless of the number of cigarettes smoked daily or the duration of the smoking habit. However, individual experiences may vary based on various factors, including overall health, age, and other individual differences. References are the NHS, quit smoking this October, better health. I feel like that person off Strictly Come Dancing that reads the terms and conditions at the end there. But it is essential to note that the timeline provides a general overview, and individual experiences differ. And let's get straight to it. If you are a smoker who is heavily overweight, and you sit and are not very mobile, so you sit at the kitchen table or the sofa pretty much most of the day, not going out much, smoking away, and you smoke 20 cigarettes, well, another person who smokes 20 cigarettes, but does get up, go for walks in the woods, plays in nature, keeps a bit of exercise, that kind of thing, then it's going to affect you both differently, without a doubt. Okay? So a lot of people say, oh, but I smoke when I'm stressed. It relaxes me. Or, oh, I'm stressed, I need a cigarette. Okay, that is, I don't want to say bollocks, but it's nonsense. Because here is the collaboration between smoking and stress. The short-term effects. So when a person smokes, nicotine reaches the brain, like we've said earlier, within seconds, and it stimulates the release of dopamine, which is a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and reward. Now, this leads to a temporary feeling of relaxation and reduced stress. So very, very temporary. The relief from stress is very short-lived. As the effects of nicotine wear off, smokers experience withdrawal symptoms, including increased anxiety and irritability. So this creates a cycle where you feel that you need to light up again to alleviate these symptoms of stress, leading to that, once again, that false perception that smoking is reducing the stress. So you have another ciggy, all them things fire up again. You put your ciggy out, eventually it comes down, but because the dopamine and you want a little bit more of this effect that it gave you, you start getting irritable. You're believing that it's the cigarette that helped you feel more relaxed, so you go and light another ciggy up again. That starts off this cycle again. Madness. Smoking also puts a physical stress on the body. It increases your heart rate, increases your blood pressure. The carbon monoxide levels in your blood increase. And over time, it leads to chronic health issues, heart disease, stroke, breathing, respiratory problems. And all of these can further increase stress levels. So what do you do when you're stressed? Then you'll reach for another ciggy. Do it. And it's all just some kind of crazy, crazy cycle. Okay? Psychological dependence. Over time, you become psychologically dependent on the cigarette as a way of coping with stress. Even though it's not a genuine stress solution, your mind has been programmed to think, I'm stressed, reach out for a cig, and that's where the habit forms. You are making a habitual performance, a habitual act of feel stressed, reach for a cig, smoke. And psychologically, you become dependent on that. When in actual fact, studies have shown that people's stress levels are lower after they quit smoking. And I can testify to that. While the initial phase of quitting can be challenging due to withdrawal symptoms, in the long run, non-smokers they will have a lower stress level than smokers. Okay, but don't be fooled in thinking it's easy, because it's not easy to quit, but it is easy with the right support. Okay, you'll do it. So in conclusion, while smoking might seem like a quick fix for stress, it's not a long-term solution, and it leads to increased stress and health problems. Okay, so it's essential to find healthier coping mechanisms for stress. Meditation, talking to someone, exercise, whatever floats your boat, walking therapy, all that kind of thing. But I know loads and loads and loads of proven techniques that you can do, which you'll fit into your day-to-day routine without much effort, which will help you get rid of the desire to smoke. Okay? So, facts and information. Did you know? So I've took this on because very few people will admit to me that they smoke 20 cigs a day. Okay? But what I will say is that, let's say that I'm going to be fair and say 10 cigs a day. Okay? With the price of cigarettes these days, you could be spending over $2,000 a year, which is money that could be used for holidays, savings, home improvements, hobbies, treats, whatever you want to call it. But as well as the financial cost, smoking reduces your life expectancy by at least 10 years. It affects your lungs, your heart, and your overall health. Now, if you're into the if you're into obviously the planet and what do you call it? And know what I'm trying to say. But if you, if you love the planet, if you like, let's not forget the environment. Millions of cigarette butts end up littering the streets and oceans, causing harm to marine life, our planet, our woodlands, our wood creatures. Okay, it damages the planet as well as you. So, why can I help you? Because, like I've said, I'm an ex-smoker. I've been there. I know what it's like. I understand the cravings. I understand the struggles to give up. I understand the moments of doubt. I know what it's like when you go, okay, yeah, I'll give up. I'll give up after this one or after this one. I also know what it's like to go 3 or 4 days or even a week or 2 weeks and then go, one won't harm. I've done all right up to now. I've done 2 weeks up to now, so one won't harm because I'll do another 2 weeks after that. I know, and I also know all the lies you tell yourself and convince yourself about things about, oh, but I only have this and I only have one. And you lie to yourself. You do. And I know all the excuses that are made because I made them. Okay. So that's why I know where you're coming from. And that's why I can help you. Okay. Because I also know what it's like to be a non-smoker. I know what it's like thankfully, I now can be around smokers. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't make me want one. I also can go for a beer and it doesn't make me want more beers. It doesn't make me want a cigarette. I've got to that stage in life where I can handle this. Okay. So I know what it's like. I also know what it's like to look at people and go, oh my God, you've got a ciggy in your mouth, but you're struggling to walk up the street. But you're puffing out of breath. You can hardly walk. You're red in your face. You're wheezing. And yet you've just sat down and lit a ciggy up. I know all them things. I know to look at that and go, no, please stop. Right? That's why I want to help people. Okay. So having someone like me who's been through the journey, understands the ups and downs, can make a huge difference to you. A study from PubMed, which is a fantastic medical publication that I read a lot, showed that having supportive accountability significantly increases the chances of quitting successfully. So that's why I know, not just believe, I know that the guidance from me, someone who truly knows and understands, will be a game changer on your journey to quitting. You're the one that will quit, but I honestly know how to get you where you need to be. And it's down to you to get there. I will get you there, but it's down to you to want to get there and want to stay there. Okay. But together, I'll be that person pushing you when the going gets tough, when the doubts set in and you think, I can't do this. I'll be the one egging you on, giving you the tips, tools, and techniques to get you where you want to be. Okay. You're going to get to where you want to be. So, the true cost of smoking versus the investment in my programs. So let's look at this. Let's say a pack of 20 cigarettes these days costs, 12 quid? I think they're about 11, 12 pounds, something like that. So let's say 10 ciggies a day. That's £6 a day. So your yearly expenditure is 2,190 quid. Okay? Now that cost over 30 years. I've took this on an average of between 40 to 70, age 40 to 70. So 30 years of smoking. It's going to cost you £65,700. Now, my programs. If you want to join me on the 12-week one-to-one program, which is where you work with me and I get to know your personality, what is going to work for you, and I personalize the program for you over 12 weeks, checking in on you, guiding you, helping you, giving you all the tips and tools and devising the program for you, 600 quid. And there is payment options as well. £600 if you pay in full. It's £660 if you want to pay over 3 months. So £220 a month. Okay. There's also a chance to work with me for a whole 12 months, which is, again, like the 12-week one-to-one. It's personalized for you. We get to know each other very well. We'll do things. We'll talk about it, and I'll push you and I'll teach you all these techniques that you can use for life to get you where you need to do. But as well as that, once you've stopped, I'm also still with you is the accountability to keep you stopped. Because once you've stopped, when there's no one else pushing you, you might fall back into it again. But I can stay there with you to make sure you don't fall back into the habit. Okay? That's me with you for a full 12 months. And that's $2,000. Okay? Or I'm going to look at doing a group program. Obviously, the group membership, 12-month membership, that isn't personalized. That's where in a group we'll all get together once a week or whatever and talk about things. And again, I'll teach you different tips, techniques, stuff like that to do daily. But it's not personalized. It's in a group, but you do get a group support from that. Okay? So how do them prices seem to you? Well, let's put it into perspective. Let's say, for example, the savings of quitting with my programs. So a 12-week one-to-one, you will save over 30 years. So you can either carry on smoking or you pay me for the 12 weeks, which will save you over the 30 years, 65,850 quid. Okay? 12-month individual where you stay with me for the whole year and I get you through it all and keep you quit. That's going to save you over the 30 years £63,700. So actually, when you look at the investment of the programs, it's not that much at all, is it? Especially when you've got your health as well. The 12-month group membership, assuming that you stay for the full 12 months, will save you £65,400 over 30 years. So just look at those figures and see how much it's worth investing in my programs. I have a fantastic success rate, one-to-one clients, which is why I'm rolling it out. So, as well as the financial, improved health and increased life expectancy. We try and put a price on these things, but increased life expectancy, take it from somebody who only a few years ago was only going to live for another couple of minutes, right? I've been through a couple of near death, minutes from death in hospital experiences. So I can honestly tell you that the increased life, welling up here, the increased life expectancy is priceless, okay? Enhanced taste and smell, not quite as much as life expectancy, but being able to taste a nice curry or your favourite food, delicious, amazing, all right? Positive environmental impact, again, the future of us and our offspring and ancestors. Is it ancestors? No, ancestors are what came before us, aren't they? Anyway, you know what I mean. And setting a healthy example for your loved ones, kids, grandkids, sons, daughters, everything like that. You know, it just gives them a good example. The power of accountability and proven techniques. So guidance from an ex-smoker. Relatable. I understand. I know what you're going through. So I can empathize with you and get you where you need to be. CBT is something that I'll be using quite a lot of, and anything else that's needed. I've got loads of techniques in my toolbox that I'll be showing you to get you through the journey, which will help you get to where you need to be. And these also, don't forget, you'll know these then to be able to use them for the rest of your life. And mindset. We will cultivate a positive can-do attitude. Okay? So that's what I'm promising you in these programs. Join the program. But as I say, it's not a miracle. Okay? You don't just join the program and that's it. It'll be hard work. So this is why it's only aimed at serious people. I've got a brilliant track record at helping people stop smoking. So I don't want you to ruin it if I may. Because you will be doing the hard work. I'll be guiding you, helping me with everything I've been through, be bringing it to you. So I've been through it all to help you get to there. But your investment, but it's also your time, okay? It's also you that's got to do what you need to do, okay? So that's it for now. If you need any more help, advice, give me a shout. I do offer 15-minute free calls. And other than that, follow the link on Facebook. That'll take you through to the website where you can book in with me and we can get started on this journey. Take care. All the best. Bye bye.